This week in Spiral Knights, we had a couple of things that happened. There was a patch note that got released the day after my previous This Week in Spiral Knights, which is just a classic thing. I really should change the day that I stream and record these because it's pretty much every single time at this point. So if there's something new that's happened and I've missed it because I recorded a day early, I'm so sorry. I might fix it in the future. Anyway. There was a small patch. They added the /HOH or Heroes command to go to the Hall of Heroes. They added the fire crystal recipes for sale in the Hall of Heroes from Zebulon, the Specialist Knight, which is pretty cool. Because previously, people who didn't have access to the missions, they say it right here. I'm just going to read what they say. Most people will obtain these through missions, but knights who played before the mission system may not have been able to get them, which is kind of like a pretty unfortunate thing. So yeah, nice that they fixed that finally. Shops will try to help you avoid buying multiple copies. By the way, that's crazy that was in the game. Like, missions came out so long. That was like a 2012 update, by the way, missions coming out. How do they not have those recipes provided this whole time? That's crazy. Shops will try to help you avoid buying multiple copies of a locked recipe. That's nice. Some tweaks on the back end that should help, but not erase completely certain kinds of slowness for people playing in Australia or the EU. Interesting. More work to correct dual monitor full screen issues, and they fixed a bug with forgeable items appearing as selected even when you select a different one. Just a couple of bug fixes, sounds like. I missed a few of the items. Sorry about that. Noting them below. No worries, Cronus. You can now drag and drop items from the items to the slot to feed them to your sprite. Drag drop items to the slot to feed them to your sprite. And it didn't make sense to me, but yes, I understand what he's saying. Fix heat-seeking rockets from changing height weirdly over gaps. You know what's funny enough? Very obscure reference, but I was watching a random person streaming on Twitch. It was like a new player playing Spiral Knights, and they literally had this problem. So this was like last week. I wonder if they reported it. I doubt it, but it's just interesting that got fixed because I just saw someone experiencing it. It's not a big thing at all. It's just like looks weird. Someone's opening boxes. Oh no, they're not. They're throwing snowballs. Okay. There was another bug fix that we had just yesterday. They unmapping a modifier key won't cause the interface to go haywire, and they had behind-the-scenes fixes to upgrade the auction house and other transactions, which is pretty good because I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but I definitely did. Auction house, it was very slow sometimes. I don't know what was going on. You can see now it's a lot more responsive, so that's good. Sometimes when I was listing things, like I'd put in, we can just put a material in. I'd put that for a little bit, and it just wouldn't load the material at all, and it'd just be ages that was just sitting there. So I was always curious about what that was happening. So I'm thinking that's what they fixed. I'm hoping that's what that is. There was also a random day where we had a bug in the game. I'm handing this over to Physamorph, who made a little video while he was streaming.
Yo, what happened? What?
This is a bug that's happened in the past.
It's everywhere. I have no idea.
This is probably like the most egregious version I've seen of it, but basically you can just, I think you like move havens and then it saves your previous character. It was a random bug, but this was fun. I really appreciated people like making art. Isn't this nice? Later on in the video, he's like showing someone made the Lost meme.
Dude, look.
With their Spiral Knights characters.
Oh, this is Lost.
Yeah, it comes up with the image.
Bro, this has to be...
If you've seen that meme before. I thought that was funny. So just a couple of weird things, shenanigans as is usual. Moving over, that is everything that's been online. We will read through the Reddit later. Discords. The Haven Discord. We had the game update notifications, of course. That's pretty classic. Random posts in there, I guess. Won't read that, but Night Launcher, what's happening in Night Launcher world? They decrease the player count font size when online play surpasses 999. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that just beautiful? This is like the rare case where they actually have to update Night Launcher. Like, it's one of those things that you just don't think about. It's like, there's never going to be an instance where the game gets over 1,000 players. Well, hold on. There was online services downtime. Looks like quite a bunch of you were looking forward to play Spiral Knights this weekend. So much they've taken down Night Launcher's online services. Oh my god. We'll be doing some upgrades that possibly prevent it from going down under heavy load in the future. The launch will still work normally. This only prevents the loading of images and other non-important assets. That's sick. Like, that's cool. And now they have G1 is now the default and recommended garbage collector, and recommended max memory decrease from 3 GB to 2 GB. Very cool. Arcade will be basically the same. There's no community events that's popped up. Announcements here should be the same. Special listings, we had a Shadow Key, a little bit cheaper, nothing crazy. Energy prices still low as ever, 3.5. 3.5. Oh my god, it's crazy how low it's staying. Okay, is it there right now? 3.7. Okay, so it's gone back up a little bit, but still sitting around that 3.5 mark. Very cheap, very good. And this should be the same game update announcement in the there. Yeah, there it is. Very cool. Let's go over to the Reddit. There's going to be a lot of posts again, I'm assuming, so we might be sitting here for a while, but that's really, I like doing the Reddit last because it's like, if you just want, you know, what's happened really, we've covered that. Now we're going to go through the community stuff and just check out, you know, random posts, a little bit of art here. I swear this looks AI to me a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it's not. There's just something about it. Anyway, I'm not going to be that guy who's like calling art AI and then sometimes it's not, and then you just feel bad because you just, I don't know, dogging on people sometimes. Forum's dead. I have not experienced that. There's a post from the Goose Caboose that has 0 likes. That is oofed. Info about guilds. I think people are just posting about the same stuff. I'm not going to read over too many of these. Are silver or gold UVs even worth rolling? Interesting question. 20k for bronze, 25k for silver, 225k for gold. For the price of gold, you can roll 11 bronze UVs and nearly 4x the amount of rolls. Yeah, it's a very weird, it is for endgame players. It's a very weird system they have. You actually don't want to, maybe we could showcase this. Basically, the way that UVs work in this game is, that's the Unbindsmith. If you are rolling UVs on a weapon, let's say I have my Atron. No, let's say I have my Barbarous Thornblade, which has charge time reduction very high. And I've rolled a bunch of 1-star tickets to get that. Okay, great, I've done that. Now, I want to roll a second variant. I can lock this first one, and then I can start rolling the second one. That is a much more efficient process to get 2 good UVs compared to just rolling 2-star variant tickets with like nothing on there and just hoping that you'll run into something, because you're spending a lot more on this. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you use the 1-star tickets to get your first one, then you use your 2-star tickets to get your second UV, and then your 3-star ones to get your third one. And basically, as you progress, you start locking these in as you go down so that you're not wasting as much money. So they do still have value. It's just very rare that you'll want to use those compared to the 1-star tickets, because usually you just want, you know, 1 good UV a lot of the time. Ooh, very nice art of the Skullbar set. Spiral Knights on mobile with Steam authentication, introducing SK Apshul. Ooh, I do remember this. Some of you remember when I first posted about running Spiral Knights on mobile back in 2023 via PoJav Launcher, with a half-working controller of JSON and it being unusable after PoJav updates. After the death of PoJav and the birth of Amethyst, I built Night Launcher Android. Amethyst-based public beta the whole way through, never quite felt finished. It did the job for a while until Grey Havers decided to wake the fuck up and start throwing hands on the keyboard, which broke the method a second time. It's a brand new day, and you guessed right, we have a brand new launcher. From the ashes of Night Launcher Android, say hello to SK Apshul. This isn't a Minecraft launcher with SK shoved in. Knoxville built it from scratch, custom JRE, native libraries, boots the game's real Java virtual machine on device. Game files pulled directly from Greyhaven servers at first launch via Getdown, same as the desktop client. Web and Steam login both work. Controls are designed gamepad first, Bluetooth USB, touch for menus. Go give him a kiss. That is crazy. This is insane. So you can play Spiral Knights on mobile, it looks like. Incredible stuff. People, I'm surprised I haven't heard about this yet. I'm kind of glad that we looked at the Reddit. This is insane. What a pull. 22 hours ago. Oh my god. Yeah, if you ever wanted to try Spiral Knights on mobile, I've heard people trying it out before, and I've heard that it's like very difficult because, you know, controls wise, it doesn't make too much sense. The Bluetooth USB idea for like a gamepad option is interesting. But yeah, if you want to play on an Android device, there you go. They've got it working. There's a PSA to new players regarding sharking by Goose Caboose Guild. Why is PvP so dead now? It's basically just the release of the Crucible update. It's kind of killed it. The queue system, just not enough people queue at the same time. It's miserable to wait for. Sweats who have had 13 years to perfect the meta and aren't fun to play with. No incentive when you get so few Krogma coins each match anyway. Those are all valid points, but also, particularly right now, it's dead because Colosseum Crucible came out, which lets us play custom maps, and anyone who wants to play PvP will just queue up in this with their mates, and they'll just fight each other, because that's kind of the state of PvP in the game at the moment. So it is a bit dead at the moment. It's kind of sad. Okay, people posting some trades. Allied Wanderer's Wand. I'm perfectly fine for a buff now, balance later mentality to any upcoming rebalance changes. I like this too. Yes. With the balance changes, everyone has kind of said, you know, just buff stuff and then worry about, you know, nerfing later down the track. Like, nerfs is just frustrating to face when you've been using the same gear for so long. So they definitely need to buff things. And if things get too strong, yeah, just balance it a little bit later down the track. I like this. What to heat up? Heat up everything, buddy. Look what I found. Hey, Imposter Cube. My goat. Is there anywhere I can view all cosmetics on characters like the WoW dressing room, in-game or online? There is, actually. There is a thing on Night Launcher called Spiral View, which lets you view all the assets. So shout out Night Launcher again. Very good tool for the community. I love this community. Every time when someone logs in, you get a welcome back. So cool. That's nice. I do like guilds that do this. I remember the days when my guild wasn't dead and we used to have a lot of players, and it's not just me online right now. Actually, my guild's low-key been coming back, but not really, but we can pretend. Anyway. What guild are you currently in? What guild would you suggest to join as a newer player? Hello, Iva. And also hello, Curvo. I would suggest these guilds, you know, like Vega, the Exceeds. I don't want to list too many. Also, I don't know. I feel bad because I don't want to not mention good guilds. There are a bunch of good guilds in the game. My general recommendation is if you're hanging out in Haven or running on missions and you're seeing people with the same guild name a lot of the time, just ask one of them to see if you can join their guild, because the benefit of that means you are guaranteed to have people who are in that guild online at the same time as you are online. So a lot of times guilds are, you know, there's like a max 250 or 300 members in a guild. And depending on your time zone, depending on the guild, it might not mesh with your time zone well at all. So my general advice is, like, you know, you might join a popping guild like Vega, but they might not have a lot of Australian players, for example. And then you don't actually have many people online at the same time as you. So my advice is just see what you're seeing a lot of the time in the game, and then just ask to join one of those guilds. If you're seeing the name often, it's usually a big guild and they'll have people online, and that's usually your best bet to get like into a good community. My general recommendations, though, are like guilds like Vega, Exceeds, Armistice. I don't know. There's a bunch of old school guilds in there that are doing good things. Will I regret making a Pokrian gun? I need opinions until end of the day. Not really. It's definitely not the best gun in the game, but it's not bad. Definitely an Arcana or a Blaster Phantomos would be a better shadow gun if you want to do that. Any other method of farming crowns? Right now I'm doing my arcade run. Sometimes I buy recipes and resell them with questionable profit. King Slime run's a bit challenging for me and also kind of boring with small profit. Is there any other methods? I'm tier 4, so FC is a bit too much for me. It's low-key. He is kind of stuck in Jelly King runs. Jelly King runs are pretty much the best for a long time until you're doing banner runs. Soul Stash is not bad. I think with my my Forge Box video, like farming Forge Boxes is probably your best bet now. At lower levels, I think that will get you most crowns. What do I do if I haven't played since 2011? I don't remember the last time I played. Oh no. Play. This is fine. 1%. 1% in a dream. Spiral Knight's freezing my whole PC. Rest in peace. Got damage of this undead very high on my voltage. Respect. Finally use. Is it worth keeping? No, it's not, unfortunately. People will always, you end up getting Black Cat, which gives you damage max against everything, and so damage bonus UVs don't really mean anything, unfortunately, for most people in the game. If you don't have Black Cat and you don't intend to get Black Cat, then it is great. Prestige missions are useful. Zombie dance. Oh my god, they're so cute. Look at them. That's cute. I like this. I need more of these things, you know, little memes. Secret nerfs in small game updates. So yesterday's Greyhaven's disabled Krogmo coin gain in 1v1 brawls. Oh, wow. See, this is where the Reddit sometimes is interesting. I did not know this. Apparently they don't want people to farm coins or purposely losing with alt accounts. Yes, that was a thing. That was a thing. Which, alright, I get it. It's a little iffy, but it doesn't really hurt anyone because nobody plays this mode otherwise. But I've been hitting 0-star gear to get lots of UV tickets this past week, and where 2 days ago I got 8 forge boxes out of leveling up 30 pieces of gear, today I've gotten 0. Oh, that feels like they decrease the odds. No! I was repeatedly running the first level of pocket. Wait, my forge box farm is dead, maybe. At first I got 3 forge prize boxes in around 1 hour of farm. In the last few days I've only got 2 in total. Never got any forge boxes. Abysmal forge prize box drop rates. No! They saw my farming video. They said none of that. Damn, that sucks. I might have to, like, delete my video. I'll need to do some testing again. It could just be unlucky. I got 3 today, actually. Maybe it's just luck. Okay. So some people are posting that they still get some. Nah, I played since the Forge update. Got 1 box, 2 until now. Okay. Maybe it's okay. I'll need to do some testing. We'll do some more testing. It's all luck. Also, hello, Franix. But it is interesting that they disabled the Krogmo coin thing, because that was a little farm that people were abusing for a while. Just doing the 1v1 brawl, so it was very easy to farm coins. So it looks like they've taken that out of the game. That's so interesting. I do hate that they just don't mention this stuff, because then it leaves us in this weird, like, has this been changed? I understand why, because, like, technically you could argue this is like an exploit, but I've always been in the mindset of, like, if it's in the game and you can do it, like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like an exploit to me. It's like, well, you're just kind of abusing the game's rules and the way that it's set up. It's just a different mentality. I guess there's an extent to that, because people, like, recently people got banned for, like, duping items. Obviously, if you're doing things like that, then I would say that's an exploit. And I guess to their point, they could do that in the game. So I guess my logic doesn't hold up. Anyway, is this game active again? I mean, yeah, compared to in the past, hell yeah. Help Evolving Drakon. And I'm finally getting closer to 100. I'd already picked my ultimates for 90 and 95. Ooh. They do want advice on what the best thing is. You know what? Let's pull up my Drakon. In case they happen to be watching this Twisk video, which they're definitely not. But we can pretend. Meteoric Firebolt. Backfire Barrier. Frenzied Firestorm. That's what you want. That's the way it's done. A Pocket Aura Prize. I ain't helping with that. My game got shot by the latest update. No. Spirit Willow is a good name. Just side note. Oh my god, I got some Sparrow Knight stuff tatted on me. Holy shit, what a pull. Oh, that's sick. Yo, the Devilites, that's so cool. Dude. That's amazing. They look great as well, and the tattoos came out. I'm not much of a tattoo guy, so I don't really know, but it looks great to me. That's sick. I'm absolutely in love with this game again. Hell yeah. This level in a nutshell. He's right behind me, isn't it? Oh. Now this is my guild Discord. I guess we're doing clones now. Yeah, it's the bug that happened. Yeah, more examples of that bug. Some ideas on how to buff the Cobalt armor weapon set. I'm curious about this. Oh, I was curious, but this is a lot to read. Did they say anything very quickly that I can just gloss over? Armors. Adds low global damage boost to each armor piece, plus make the defense decently strong against every type of damage. Piercing, elemental, and shadow. That is interesting. Though, I mean, that's definitely a solid buff. Weapons, pretty hard to balance, honestly, because if normal damage is buffed too much, specialized won't have a place anymore. Okay, hot take. Let me know what you guys think. I think every normal type of weapon should not exist. Not exist, sorry. There should no longer be just weapons with only normal. I think every weapon should have a specific type assigned to it. I'm happy to have weapons that are normal and elemental, you know, like Atron, for example. There's normal damage and you have shadow damage. I think every weapon should be some form of that. I don't think there should be anything in the game that is only normal, because it just doesn't make sense when there's these types of weapons in the game where you have that specification. I think just get rid of the normal types. Like, everything should have and then at that point, I guess you just get rid of the normal damage, maybe. No, because normal damage has a value. It means that, you know, you still do decent damage against everything, which is the benefit of having these weapons which have multiple types. Like this is better than an Atron is better than a Barbara Stormblade because Barbara Stormblade doesn't have any normal base typing. So your attacks are super weak against the weak types. Whereas an Atron, even against the weak types, like Elemental, is it? It still does some damage. Like it's not too bad. Whereas Barbara Stormblade, if you're doing it into an enemy that's strong against it, you do literally nothing. Like it's terrible. That's my suggestion for things that only do normal. I have the worst luck. Very high on a weapon. I can't read, guys. On a weapon that is not good on undead enemies, lol. Just my luck. I'm assuming this is a definite reroll, right? Obsidian Edge damage bonus was undead very high. No! Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not great. Bid only slot one is very short. And then it's a meme. I watched this. Did I watch? No, these are just random stock market shots. Okay. Yeah, you know, I'll give it a thumbs up. I just like seeing memes on the Reddit, honestly. If the Reddit had less questions and more memes, I'd be happier. When they said player numbers are up, they weren't kidding. Okay, but this is like the glitched out. That's funny. Whoever won the Gold Rose Tabard auction, congrats. Happy for you guys. Oh my god, every time I'm bidding on something, someone else wins it. Having messing ready room model Steam Deck recipes. Having a hard time logging in lately. What about DLC? A lot of these are actually, you know, like the Sonic DLCs. I don't know if they can re-release them like as the actual DLC. They do release the armors on the featured auctions, so I'm not sure. Maybe they can. But there's some of these that are tied to like, obviously that's tied to 3 rings. So I don't know if they have that connection anymore. Like I don't know if they can do that. Sooner or later, you will reach the Vanagrind, enjoying the vast amount of unique levels, engaging with other players, exploring lore, participating in PvP matches. Vanajuk and Golden Sun Casino game. Yes. Yes, that is how it goes. Fashion show thread. Ooh. Just gotta watch armors. Let me read Ilu's message in the chat. They duped Forge prize boxes and had infinite rolls and rolled GM gear. Did you know that? I did not know that. That's so funny. Infinite rolls and roll GM gear. My goats. I mean, they got banned and they should get banned. Like, I don't know what they're expecting with that. I am curious how they got caught, but that's funny. Fashion show thread. What am I about at the moment? So I can't start off. Oh, my knight looks like this. They're describing their knight instead of starting a photo. That's crazy. My proto armor is my external fit. No accessories aside from the Vanguard crest. It's always drip. Looks alright. Like the gremlin stuff. This is less of a... There's 5... Okay, this is not much of a fashion thread, guys. There's only 5 bits. My number 1 is this one, because I don't understand it. And I like it. It's very blue. My goat. People recommend Chaos Set. Feels like a cult sometimes. Having defense against a particular damage type means nothing if the monster is dead. Like, geez, everyone repeats this everywhere. I'm just not sure it will fit my lazy playstyle. I get hit a lot and generally play solo. Right now, I have Skullva set, not having a great time on Vanna, to be honest. Can I craft a Vine Veil and use it with Skullva Cloak? There's definitely other sets that you can use, but Chaos is just going to be much better, generally. But I understand. Okay, I'll craft Chaos, he says. He gets it. They get it, sorry. Help with gearing / tank sets. I wonder if someone has come up with a good tank set. I don't know if there is one in the game. Like the tank sets, you know what's really annoying? Like ancient plate mail stuff. Do I have any on me? That's okay, because I can chat to Brinks and we can look at it. Ancient plate is like meant to be the maximum tankiness thing. This has like insane normal defense, by the way. Like this has insane defense. But it gives you movement speed low and ASI low, which thematically makes sense. Like a tank, yeah, sure. It's like a heavy set. It makes sense to be slower, but it's just terrible for the game. Like, it's so bad when you're playing with it. It feels terrible. So I kind of wish they got rid of that because it'd be nice otherwise. Hey, thank you for the follow, Edtria. Appreciate ya. What else we got? Gunslinger. What is the most efficient method for Gunslinger right now? It's Baronized. There's actually some very good Gunslinger sets. With the Gunner update, when they released all those Pathfinder sets and all of that stuff, You can actually make a very decent set without building Chaos. Chaos is still better, but you can make a very good set with a Gunslinger gear if you're going for guns. It's not bad. Secret Bonfire Room. I like this. Elden Ring, not Elden Ring, just Dark Souls in general. What a crossover. Spiral Knights cross Dark Souls. See, it's not just me. I swear, Spiral Knights, there's something about it that is Dark Souls related. Prove me wrong. So since Spiral Knights is coming back, I've decided to return it to it after maybe 10-ish years. How's the current state of the meta? Terrible. We're waiting on the rebalance changes. Somebody should repair it. It is dangerous. Think of the environment. I like this. Sprite level guide. I haven't really seen... Oh, there are sprite level guides actually in the Discords. I have seen that. Never mind. So there are guides for this. 2 mechanics, stats, questions. What does ASI affect on bombs? I actually don't know. The first question, CPA. Second question, ASI on bombs, it does technically have an effect. It's not a very... I think it's when you like put down the bomb, right? Will only increase the speed that you lift and lower the bomb while charging it. It will not affect the bomb at all once it's placed, yeah. So it's a slight benefit. It's not great. Interesting though. Berserker armor, can I have? Berserker armor, I'm guessing? Snarblacks. I feel like Berserker armor is more Chaos set because that's like a lot of debuffs as well. Azure Guardian armor set, man, the art is just incredible. I do like this. They posted the Sculver set as well later, didn't they? Okay, we've done it. We've caught up for everything that has happened on the Reddit in this past week in Spiral Knights. There's still so many posts. I feel like this is too much to go over in this week in Spiral Knights. I enjoyed it that first time, but I'm starting to feel a little bit fatigued. Every single time I'm reading through, it's like 30 minutes just to go over the Reddit. It might be a little bit too much. We might start skimming them. I might do some pre-reading and then just pull out the most interesting ones for future this week in Spiral Knights. I think that makes the most sense. So I'll probably start doing that. I'll just review them on my own. If you're very heavily opposed to that idea, let me know and I'll change that. But regardless. Anyway, that is everything in this week in Spiral Knights. I hope you guys enjoyed and I'll catch you guys in next week's episode of This Week in Spiral Knights. Ciao, ciao.